All right, so we're moving on to lesson 16, and for this lesson, we're talking about multiplying decimals. And for this, there's just a couple concepts that we need to go over and understand why that makes a difference. I'm going to use these two grids here to show you the difference between multiplying a decimal by a whole number and then multiplying it by another decimal. Because you know, 1/10 actually is the same as that. So this is basically 10 times 1/10, and this is 1/10 times 1/10. I just want to show you the difference of what happens with that. So for the first one, this is 10 times 1/10. So if we take 1/10 and multiply it by 10, that will give us 1. So that would be this entire grid here. I'm not going to actually do it, but all of these would be filled in. So that would be 1 whole. So we have 1/10 here. This is 1/10 right there. And if you multiply it by 10, then all of these would be filled in. For this next one, if we took 1/10, which would be this, and then we multiplied it by 1/10, that would give us 1/100th. So this would actually become this. It would just become one single square. So that's the power of decimals. So if you have two decimals multiplied by each other, it's going to make everything smaller. If you multiply a decimal by a whole number, you're going to get something bigger. So it's pretty significant of how decimal points have that much power. On page 325, let's look at this first example. Martin has 50 cents. Sarah has 10 times as much money as Martin. John has 1/10 of as much money as Martin. How does Sarah have more money than Martin? So let's do this. Let's have a Sarah side, and then let's have a John side. So Sarah, she has, let's have 50 cents start for both. This is 10 times. And for this one over here, John is, his is set at 1/10. So we'll multiply this out. We got 0, got 5, 0, 0, 0, 5. I've got two place values, so it's going to be $5. For this one, I've got 0, 5, placeholder, I've got 0, 0, whichever. Got 0, got 5. Now this has three place values, so this will equal 5 cents. So you can see that if you have 1/10 or multiply a decimal by a decimal, you're going to end up with a smaller value. If you multiply 10 times a whole number, your decimal number becomes a much larger number. So just keep that in mind when you're doing your multiplication. Do both Sarah and John have more money than Martin? No. Sarah has more money. Has more. She has $5. That's 10 times the 50 cents that Martin has. John has less. He's got 5 cents. You've seen that by finding 1/10 of a number is the same as multiplying a number by 1/10. Explain how the unit square model shows that 1/10 of 1 is the same as that. This shaded part, the shaded area is 1/10 of a whole. In the area model, one column is now shaded blue. What is the area of the purple square in the model? The purple one's going to be right here, by the way. The purple square is 1/10 of 1/10, which is 1/100th. Whoops. 0.01. And for this last one, would you change the how would you change the model to show this? We would shade another column blue. Giving us two purple squares. Two purple squares. Since we know one purple square is 1/100th, that means we would have a value of 2/100ths. All right, again, a really quick lesson, just more of an introduction. And your IXL is very similar to showing that you're multiplying two fractions, or excuse me, two decimals, and the shaded area is what your answer is going to be. So it's I-14. You can go to 70%, and that will give you full credit for today's lesson.